wherever we have direct elections like the three-tiered Lok Sabha assemblies and local self-governments, right, on a single day at the same time. Say we are going to conduct elections in 2024. Then after 2.5 years, we'll again have elections. And in that elections, we will try to bring all those states which were not clubbed at this level. Yes, आप कहीं भी जैसे कि लोगों को डर होता है कहीं भी इलेक्शन होगा तो कुछ कम्युनल राइट्स करवा देंगे. There are 3-4 strong arguments to negate simultaneous holding of election. बट उससे रिलीफ होगा ना, कम स्टेट में होगा, एक ही साथ होगा. तो एक ही साथ होगा ना तो मशीनरी बार बार नहीं उसमें वो होती है, बस एब्जॉर्ब नहीं होती है. So basically, let's say Election Commission of India, then Law Commission, then Parliamentary Standing Committee, and then Niti Aayog. So basically, you know that it is very old, not new, when it has been recommended, right? Then definition. Yes. Exact meaning or definition is this, that conducting elections wherever we have direct elections like the three-tiered Lok Sabha assemblies and local self-governments, right, on a single day at the same time. सिंगल डे सेम टाइम जैसे 10 to 5 होता है तो सेम टाइम होगा, ये नहीं कि एक स्टेट में 10 to 1 दूसरे स्टेट में 1 to 5. So this is the exact definition, but it is not feasible. You should know that you cannot conduct elections at three-tier. You know that huge it will be. India is not a small country, you know that 2.7 lakh panchayats we have. So it is not possible. Hence another definition is used in which we say that simultaneous holding of election, same definition for Lok Sabha and assemblies. On single day, it will remain the same. This definition, this is important aspect. Here you can have only this or all the three. This. However, again, in actual practice, simultaneous holding of elections is debated, or let's talk not like this, right? Rather, holding elections Lok Sabha assemblies together. In phased manner, जैसे अभी होता है. When we talk about definition, we define in this way, but it is not feasible. Actual definition of simultaneous holding of election is this. But yes, single day election. This one nation, one election. This is also known as one nation, one election on one day election. This. But one day election is not possible. As of now, you do not conduct one day election. We conduct elections in a phased manner. In any state, we conduct elections in 2 phases, 3 phases. This is how. So elections, we are talking in actual practice that we will hold elections together of Lok Sabha and assemblies together, and that can be in phased manner, in phases. Right? In that also further, elections will be conducted in 2 cycles. Elections will be conducted in 2 cycles, right? Let's say one 2024 is coming, and then after 2.5 years, this. So let's say we are going to conduct elections in 2024. Then after 2.5 years, we will again have elections. And in that elections, we will try to bring all those states which were not clubbed at this level. Get it? Let me explain separately. Since 2024 is coming, we give example. Now 2024 we have Lok Sabha election. Then assemblies. Do we have any assemblies clubbed with this? We may have some assemblies clubbed with West Bengal. I think Haryana होगा शायद. Yes, someone is writing Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. This Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Plus let's say कि और भी state हो सकते हैं, right? Then what we will do is that they are naturally the states which are coming to that term. उनका term लोक सभा से कहीं न कहीं coincide है अभी. 8 states. क्या बात? Eight states. Right. So suppose there are 8 states which naturally they also fall are there. Let's say that the duration of legislative assembly is as the duration of Lok Sabha. So naturally they come into this. Now what we will do is that plus we can include those assemblies which let's say that their tenure is 6 months short. Right. Means they are, let's say in completion of 5 years, they may have 6 months less. They may have completed 4 years. They may have completed 4.5 months, 4.5 years, let's say that. So 4.5 years, half months they need. It means that after just Lok Sabha election, after 6 months, there will be election in that state. So its legislative assembly will be dissolved before completion of 5 years, right? And let's take that कि there can be some states who may have completed their, जैसे राजस्थान वगैरह है, अभी 3 स्टेट में हुआ था इलेक्शन, right? 3 states, so they may have completed and then they need election, and just after their election Lok Sabha elections are held, right? Let's say after 6 months, after 1 year. So those who have completed the 5 plus half हो सकता है, 5 plus 1 हो सकता है, and 4 let's say कि less than 5 हो सकता है. Those states which have let's say that कि completed 5 years, their tenure can be extended by 6 months, and those states which have not completed 5 years, their tenure can be ended by 4.5 months, means 4.5 years, right? And they can also be brought under this cycle of election with Lok Sabha. तो वो 8 की जगह हो सकता है कि 12 भी हो जाए, right? 12, 13, whatever the number of states, suppose, right? So suppose we bring this kind of category, so then the state we can add, let's say that 6 more states. So there are 14 states. Now 14 states are left. 14 states are left. So there, let's say the second cycle will be conducted after 2.5 years. The 2.5 years, let's say 26. So basically you may conduct 2026, 20, 27. The rest of the states, the 14 states. In this, naturally some state may come during this phase. Some states, मान लो कि naturally some 8 states naturally come, and some states में वही लगाना पड़ेगा formula. 6 months early, 6 months more. Right. So 4.5 to 5.5. Getting? Assembly is dissolved before completion of 5 years. Assembly is extended more than 5 years. This is what, let's say that ki formula we say. This is how we are talking about simultaneous holding of election. इस तरीके का हम बात कर रहे हैं. हम one nation one election की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. वो तो बहुत ही हाई लेवल की बात है. मतलब इसके बाद वो आएगा. अगर ये सक्सेस होगा तब वो कर सकते हैं. Right? This is what, is it clear? Not clear? What's the problem? उसका भी फार्मूला है. Right. अब मान लो कि कोई स्टेट है एक्सेप्शन. Right? Exception or exceptions, let's say that. Exception क्या है कि कोई जैसे महाराष्ट्र की सरकार गिर गई या बिहार की सरकार है, right? तो मान लो any assembly, as any assembly, let's say that tenure comes to an end, let's say that, जैसे कि let's say short of majority. This जब शॉर्ट ऑफ मेजॉरिटी होगा तो जब इलेक्शन होगा, इलेक्शन 5 साल का नहीं होगा. It is very radical thing, you should know that. Election will be done for tenure which can match with either this cycle or that cycle. तो 1.5 year का भी इलेक्शन टेन्योर हो सकता है असेंबली का. 2 years का भी टेन्योर हो सकता है असेंबली का. ऐसा सजेशन है, राइट? If any assembly or any state where there is a government, and the government, let's say, falls because of short of majority, right, then elections would be conducted for 1 year, 1.5 year to match with either second cycle or first cycle, either with Lok Sabha election or let's say 2.5 years of that second cycle of election, or impose presidents or impose right. Impose president's rule. This 3 years maximum. हमारे यहाँ मैक्सिमम 3 years का प्रोविजन है और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंड करके इंडेफिनिट भी कर सकते हैं. We have told that time, no, you have not given attention. जब प्रेसिडेंट वाला हम लोगों ने बताया है तो बताया है ना मैक्सिमम 3 years. Yes, after 1 year there should be 2 conditions we have told. One कि national emergency is in operation और election commission expresses its inability to conduct election. तो वैसे भी मैक्सिमम 1 year तो हो ही सकता है ना. 3 years के लिए 2 conditions है, उसमें से एक फुलफिल होना चाहिए, राइट. तो 1 year तो वैसे भी प्रेसिडेंट रूल हो सकता है, राइट. नॉट नीडेड, डोंट थिंक ऑल दिस थिंग्स. वो जब टॉपिक आएगा तब सोचना. ये उनके लिए है जिन्हों जो सोच चुके हैं. तो दिस इज हाउ, आपको ये सब याद होना चाहिए ऐसे. ये एक साथ हो और फिर एक और साइकिल में हो. एक साथ हो एक बार और दूसरे बार सिर्फ असेंबली इलेक्शंस हो, जो बचे हुए असेंबलीज है.
ये दोनों हो जाने के बाद हम उसके बाद जो इलेक्शंस आएंगे वो दोनों के साथ में होंगे. क्या वो भी 2 साइकिल में होंगे?
ये तो साइकिल चलता रहेगा ना ऐसे.
ये जो बचे हुए उनका भी हो गया, तो उनका टेन्योर होने के बाद अगर फॉर एग्जांपल ये अभी हो गए तो ये 5 years तक रन करेंगे. अगर ये 26-27 हो गया तो इनके 5 years तो 29 में खत्म होंगे और इनका तो सिर्फ 2 years ही रह गया. तो ये अपना 5 year का पूरा टेन्योर कंप्लीट करेंगे.
यस, नहीं, वो लोकसभा से क्लब नहीं होगा. अब इनका हमेशा उसी चलता रहेगा,
5 years वाला टेन्योर
चलेगा
और इनका 5 years
और इनका 5 year वाला चलेगा. 2 पैरेलल चल रहा है ना, 2 पैरेलल चल रहा है, ऐसे चल रहा है. तो ये लोकसभा वाला है, ये असेंबली वाला है. तो इनका 5 year अपना चलेगा जो भी साइकिल होगा और इनका अपना 5 year वाला चलेगा टेन्योर. तो ये मतलब 5 साल में 2 बार इलेक्शन होगा. बेसिकली इन 5 years वी विल हैव 5 years में 2 times elections. This is how the simultaneous ruling works. मतलब पहले तो फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड इट. अभी तो ये प्रपोजल है, पता ही है ना, 83 से चल रहा है, ठीक है. 2015 में पार्लियामेंट्री स्टैंडिंग कमेटी ने बोला, 18 में नीति आयोग ने बोला और ऑलरेडी 23 हो चुका है, ठीक है. और इसको इम्प्लीमेंट होने का कहीं कुछ राइट. तो लेट्स टॉक दिस, फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड दिस, राइट.
लोकसभा और सारे असेंबली दोनों का एक ही साथ कंडक्ट होगा?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं है. इट्स नॉट फीजिबल, ठीक है.
दोनों का टेन्योर एक साथ शुरू होगा,
ऐसा नहीं होगा ना, इसलिए कि असेंबलीज इट हैपन टिल 67, उसके बाद डिस्टर्ब हो गया. तो इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, राइट.
मतलब उसका बेनिफिट क्या होगा ऐसे अगर ऐसे दोनों साथ में करेंगे?
बेनिफिट ये हुए तो इससे भी बेहतर होगा. वो तो विल टेल यू द बेनिफिट्स पार्ट, देन विल टेल यू. इससे भी बेहतर होगा वो,
दोनों का साथ.
यस, राइट. इज इट क्लियर? Then exception clause is to deal against those states, let's say, who may not fall in the These are that category, right? Now there is another exception clause which while dictating will tell you. This is called constructive vote, or we say it Shekawat formula. So constructive vote or Shekawat formula is that no opposition party will try to bring no confidence motion unless it has confidence motion ready. It can bring against a government no confidence motion only when confidence motion is ready. This you can say. If government is in short of majority, even opposition can provide support. Or it will basically discourage a party to bring no confidence motion. This you can say. Or it will discourage a party to do those political, let's say that brickmanship. This you can consider. Now, why we are talking these elections? Why simultaneous holding of elections? Yes. The country is always in election mode. Yes. So, पहला चीज है कि country is always in election mode. Know this. One after. अभी राजस्थान का हुआ था, अब लोकसभा आ गया. उसके पहले कुछ और states का हुआ था. This is how it is. And you know that कि how entire machinery is election mode के होने से वजह से तो government is over consumed. And government, let's say कि especially MPs, MLAs, ministers, they are, let's say they have more focus on elections rather than their own, let's say role and responsibility. Like MPs have role to focus on lawmaking, but they are, let's say, busy with elections. Ministers do not focus on their portfolios. And Maurya and Kautilya, you know that they camp in one state. You can see this how. So national level elections happen. So you should have national level leaders. But leaders even national level are occupied in local elections and assembly elections. Even let's say that you know that Kautilya goes for local level election, like Hyderabad में जब local election है, तो he is going and campaigning. This. So that the hypothesis that I teach and tell that ki Virat Kohli playing with district team. This you should know that. So basically national level leaders should more focus at national level only. But when elections, every election is means ki saving India or saving this and that. ऐसा नारा दिया जाता है. This means and every election they will take at their let's say that कि this that कि इसको जीतना ही है, नहीं तो मैं तो सब कुछ स्टेक पे है. Yes. That kind of let's say लोगों को ऐसे डराते हैं जैसे सेफ बिहार है, खतरा किससे है? This is how it is. So ऐसे ऐसे वो लोग पॉलिटिकल this is how वहाँ कोई इंसर्जेंसी भी नहीं है कि सेफ बिहार. So that is what you'll find election mode. In fact, जो नीति आयोग का पेपर है, it starts. It's a good paper. We'll upload on portal. You can read it also if you have time. On simultaneous holding of elections, it starts with this only. Nation is always in election mode. This. It results into, let's say, the electoral democracy. It makes our democracy more as electoral democracy, procedural democracy, rather than substantive democracy. Yes. अब let's come to next. Governance पे इसका इफेक्ट क्या होता है? So जो मशीनरीज होती है, entire machinery let's say that is occupied in elections. This machineries they are occupied in elections. अब जैसे लोकसभा इलेक्शन उनका तैयारी चल रहा होगा. अब जब आप ही जाके बात करोगे बोलेगा इलेक्शन के बाद बात करना, मतलब अभी से लेकर के मई तक वो आपसे बात ही नहीं करेंगे. This because they are in a preparation mode of elections. So for 6 months they have preparation for national elections. This और इलेक्शन एक बार कंडक्ट ठीक ठाक से हो गया तो छुट्टी पे चले गए सब. डेट रिलैक्स अच्छा रहा, मतलब काफी हेक्टिक रहा 6 मंथ, तो लेट्स रिलैक्स. और गवर्नमेंट भी बोलती है ठीक है रिलैक्स होने दो. द एंटायर गवर्नमेंट मशीनरी इज ऑक्युपाइड इन इलेक्शन. ये तो नेशनल लेवल इलेक्शन हो गया. नाउ व्हेन स्टेट लेवल इलेक्शन इज आल्सो कंडक्टेड देन अगेन दे आर ऑक्युपाइड. तो इमेजिन दैट कि a state is experiencing 3 times elections in 5 years, including model code of conduct. This so much let's say that ki consumption of administration that will result into shifting of focus of administration from administering people to administering elections. और जब frequent elections होते हैं तो पता ही है सब क्या होता है. अब एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज अननेसेसरली फाइलिंग FIR, अरेस्टिंग पीपल, डिटेनिंग पीपल, वहां लाठीचार्ज कर रही है, वहां भाग रही है. When you have frequent elections, you know, in West Bengal, entire West Bengal, let's say local elections, how there was political violence. This, उसके बाद असेंबली इलेक्शन होता है तो there is a political violence. इलेक्शन रिजल्ट आने के बाद there is a political violence. This, so administration is unnecessarily absorbed in all these activities. So when it will focus to govern people, and then similarly development and growth, the projects and policies will be affected. So the policies and projects which government bring, model code of conduct will give a stop. This plus it will bring populist policy. Frequently you have to announce populist policies. अब राजस्थान में इलेक्शन है तो एक कुछ अनाउंस कर दो ताकि राजस्थान में बेनिफिट हो. So policy making and let's say execution will also suffer. This, and that is how it has been highlighted. Then already let's say these things result into multiple times elections, so huge expenditure. Because same machineries you are using, same let's say that ki elections again you are conducting, so that has been highlighted. Already our electoral expenditure has increased by let's say that ki huge. It has gone to the highest, let's say that US election last time was let's say very high electoral expenditure. After US, our election expenditure, second highest election expenditure, accounted, unaccounted. यूएस कहीं भी नहीं आएगा दिस उसके बाद challenge to stability, order and peace, because all those paramilitary forces, police forces, they are occupied in election time, so that has also been highlighted, plus this, let's say this you can say that is how it affects. In fact, parliamentary standing committee तो यहाँ तक बोला है last conclude करते समय कि if you want to see India as a major, let's say that कि power means powerful country, superpower they used the term. If you want to see India as a superpower in the world, you must have simultaneous elections, because it is almost consuming lots of resource, energy, time, and it is, let's say, a sort of drag on our, let's say, country. That is how it has been argued. That is how they say that there should be simultaneous elections.
We want to change our political culture by bringing switch, but with the regular elections, it is important to be
Yes, आप कहीं भी, जैसे कि लोगों को डर होता है, कहीं भी इलेक्शन होगा तो कुछ कम्युनल राइट्स करवा देंगे कहीं पे, और उसके बाद लेट्स से दैट की मतलब कुछ ना कुछ आप करवाते हो, बिना कोई भी इलेक्शन बिना किसी के वो जाता नहीं है. जैसे पुलवामा का जो इंसिडेंट है, पता ही है ना कि वो इतना बड़ा ट्रूप्स को आप कैसे भेज सकते हो बाय लैंड, ऐसा कभी हुआ नहीं था. यस, नॉट सतपाल मलिक, वो तो पहले से ही ये सब चीजें क्लियर है कि फोर्स डज नॉट स्पीक, एंड इट वाज क्लियर कि नेवर दे हैव बीन सेंट बाय लैंड, हमेशा उनको हेलीकॉप्टर प्रोवाइड किया जाता है. दिस यू कैन से दैट. लेकिन उस समय ही क्यों उनको ऐसा, और कोई भी प्रिकॉशन नहीं लिया गया. यस, अगर आप स्क्रूटनाइज कर दो ये सब, तो आप 10 साल के बाद देखना, 20 साल के बाद जब कोई दूसरी पार्टी गवर्नमेंट आती है, सारा चिट्ठा खुलता है, तब पता चलता है ये सब. राइट, दे विल कम बैक अगेन. ऐसा नहीं है कि ऐसा नहीं है, सब कुछ जिस तरीके से आप सुभाष चंद्र बोस है कि नहीं है, तो बहुत सारे कमेटी बैठाया गया है, isn't it? दिस सिख राइट पे कई बार लेसन है कि आता रहता है दिस, तो वैसे ही ये सब आता रहेगा. दिस anyhow, let's write it, let's finish it.
So we are saying that we should support it.
Yes.
But in many comparisons, which is SY correctly rejects simultaneous.
ठीक है, उनका अपना व्यू हो सकता है. Try to understand. I have to dictate, let's say, because I have to finish it. You should know that कि यूएस में भी 2 साइकिल में ही इलेक्शन होता है. पूरे वर्ल्ड में कोई ऐसा कंट्री नहीं है जहां पे ऐसे इलेक्शन होता है. दिस यू शुड नो दैट. साउथ अफ्रीका में भी 2 साइकिल में इलेक्शन होता है. इंडिया में भी 1967 तक 2 साइकिल में ही इलेक्शन हुआ था. एक साइकिल में ही इलेक्शन हुआ था. 51, 52, then 50, let's say 56, 57, and then 67. This 3 Lok Sabha tenures. The 3 Lok Sabha tenures elections were held together. तो वो कैसे हुआ था? एस वाई कुरैशी का कुछ आर्गुमेंट्स है, वो ये बोलते हैं, पहला ये बोलते हैं कि जब फ्रीक्वेंट इलेक्शंस होता है तो इससे गवर्नमेंट का अकाउंटेबिलिटी बढ़ता है. तो उसका मैं लॉजिक ये दूंगा, या इट इज नॉट लेट्स से कि गुड लॉजिक. देन जो हमारा फॉर्मल सिस्टम है अकाउंटेबिलिटी का, उसका क्या करेंगे? सिर्फ अकाउंटेबिलिटी के लिए आप चाहते हो फ्रीक्वेंट इलेक्शन होता रहे, तो और भी वी हैव ऑलरेडी ए सिस्टम टू अपहोल्ड अकाउंटेबिलिटी. अकाउंटेबिलिटी कैग के रिपोर्ट के थ्रू क्यों नहीं होगा? अकाउंटेबिलिटी पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी के थ्रू क्यों नहीं होगा? अकाउंटेबिलिटी सिविल सोसाइटी के थ्रू क्यों नहीं होगा? आरटीआई के थ्रू क्यों नहीं होगा? वही अकाउंटेबिलिटी यू वांट बाय फ्रीक्वेंट इलेक्शंस. दैट आर्गुमेंट नीति आयोग हैज आल्सो टेकन, SY कुरैशी, एंड इट रिजेक्ट्स आर्गुमेंट. सेकेंड आर्गुमेंट ही सेज कि जॉब्स मिलता है जब फ्रीक्वेंट इलेक्शंस होता है लोगों को, बट वो तो एडहॉक जॉब हो गया ना. रादर यू कैलकुलेट द लॉस बाय फ्रीक्वेंट इलेक्शन is whether less than accountability and job created, or let's say that the benefits of simultaneous elections are much more than the loss that you incur in terms of job, let's say that you create during elections and the accountability which comes. इसका benefits तो बहुत ज्यादा होगा. Are you able to understand? The benefits of simultaneous holding of election would be much more high than anything the argument given in negative. That's why there should be simultaneous holding election. Yes. Yes. नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. अब ठीक है, आई विल टेक योर आर्गुमेंट. ये भी एक स्ट्रॉन्ग आर्गुमेंट है. देयर आर 3-4 स्ट्रॉन्ग आर्गुमेंट्स टू निगेट सिमल्टेनियस होल्डिंग ऑफ इलेक्शन. फर्स्ट आर्गुमेंट ये है कि वो सिंक्रोनाइज नहीं होगा जब फ्रीक्वेंट पॉलिटिकल लेट्स से दैट की कोएलिशन पॉलिटिक्स है, डिफेक्शन पॉलिटिक्स है. अनलेस यू स्टॉप डिफेक्शन पॉलिटिक्स एंड कोएलिशन पॉलिटिक्स, synchronization will be very challenging. First. Second, it will result into more and more unitary dominance rather than federal polity. Why? Because as we have told, president's rule, it will increase the scope of president's rule. Then let's say कि national party will dominate. It is accepted. There will be dominance of national party. The state and regional party may not get their say or recognition. That may happen. That can be one factor. So it is accepted. Plus SY Qureshi, whatever the logic he gives. Plus electorates may not be able to differentiate this. ठीक है? Happy? नहीं, काउंटर तो यहीं से हो जाएगा. यहीं से काउंटर हो जाएगा. आप कह रहे हो कि इलेक्टरेट्स इतने एजुकेटेड नहीं है, तो आप 8 स्टेट में क्यों कंडक्ट करवा रहे हो? वो तो अभी भी हो रहा है. When electorates cannot differentiate between national and state parties, तो आप ये 8 स्टेट्स में इलेक्शन क्यों करवा रहे हैं? In 8 states we will have assembly election and then Lok Sabha election together. Why we are conducting? Isn't it? तो अगर 8 की जगह मान लो कि वो 14 हो जाएगा तो क्या सिचुएशन कुछ बदल जाएगा? नहीं बदलेगा ना. बदलेगा? देखो उस स्टेट में तो हो ही रहा है. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. अगर आंध्र प्रदेश में लोकसभा के साथ इलेक्शन हो रहा है तो आंध्र प्रदेश के लोग कैसे डिस्टिंग्विश करेंगे नेशनल एंड स्टेट पॉलिटिक्स? प्रॉब्लम तो होगा. तो इलेक्शन नहीं होना चाहिए. Already we are doing it. This first thing. Second, right? Yes, 77% according to studies, 77% cases electorates give favor to national party. ये भी रिसर्च बोलता है. नीति आयोग को भी पता है, उन्होंने मेंशन किया है. राइट. 69% पहले था, अब 77% जो इलेक्टरेट्स होते हैं व्हेन सिमल्टेनियस इलेक्शन होता है, जैसे 8 स्टेट्स में सिमल्टेनियस इलेक्शन हो रहा है, तो 77% इलेक्टरेट्स पॉसिबिलिटी इज दैट वुड गिव देयर वोट टू ए नेशनल पार्टी. दिस इन स्टेट एंड सेंटर. बट रिसर्च ये भी है कि ये हमेशा नहीं होता है. ऐसे भी है कि जब इलेक्शन साथ में हुआ है तो लोकसभा के लिए लोगों ने किसी और पार्टी को सपोर्ट किया है एंड असेंबली के लिए पीपल हैव सपोर्टेड ए डिफरेंट पार्टी. दिस यू शुड नो. दिस यू कैन टेक दिल्ली एज एग्जांपल. All 7 seats of Lok Sabha BJP has, but it has only 7 seats in assembly. उससे भी कम है. Can you imagine? तो देखो ये लॉजिक एक क्रिटिसिज्म है, बट इट इज जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ क्रिटिसिज्म, acceptable criticism है, but just because of this it is not so important कि we cannot have simultaneous elections. Yes. So there are objections, but still we will try to promote simultaneous holding of elections. This you should know that way. This is how we can consider. As far as states are concerned, regional parties are concerned, democracy is concerned, federal polity is concerned, उसका और तरीका है, आप ब्रिंग इंटरनल पार्टी डेमोक्रेसी. कोई जरूरी है कि स्टेट लेवल पार्टी, अब वो एक दूसरा डिबेट हो जाएगा, स्टेट और रीजनल पार्टी आए क्यों, तो नेशनल पार्टी के फेल्योर के वजह से आए. बस तो व्हेन नेशनल पार्टी के फेल्योर से वजह से आप कब, डू यू थिंक कि स्टेट पार्टी शुड डोमिनेट ओवर नेशनल पॉलिटिक्स? दिस वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. They should dominate at state level, not in national politics.
Then they should be given space to dominate.
Yes, they have space to dominate. They have space to dominate. इस इलेक्टोरेट्स को आप इतना ज्यादा वो मत समझो. Right. We have social media platform. You should know that ना कि आप सीधा लॉजिक लगाओ ना कि आप 8 स्टेट्स में क्यों करवा रहे हो. जब आप ये कह रहे हो कि people cannot differentiate, these 8 states में they will face the problem ना, they will not be able to differentiate. The only thing you are doing is कि 8 में 6 और ऐड कर दिया आपने. Right. This, that way we can consider this. Anyhow, let's write on this. Simultaneous holding of elections. Holding of elections. Debate has drawn attention in recent times, which has also been advocated by Prime Minister as one nation, one elections. One nation, one elections. There are recommendations by Parliamentary Standing Committee and Niti Aayog, Parliamentary Standing Committee and Niti Aayog, which have become basis for promoting the idea of simultaneous holding of elections. Simultaneous holding of elections. Simultaneous holding of elections. Yes. They have given the above mentioned factors. As necessity for introducing this reform, that is, due to frequent elections, country is incurring huge losses. Like first, governance deficit, as administration gets occupied in elections. Next, development deficit. Development deficit, as the process of development is disrupted. The process of development is disrupted due to elections, due to frequent elections and model code of conduct. Model code of conduct. Change paragraph. That is, these two factors are very important. These two factors are very important. Causative factors. Causative factors. Factors. As entire country is put on hold. Entire country is put on hold once in 5 years. And a state experiences 2 to 3 times 2 to 3 times such hold up practice. Hold up. In present context, development projects, policies demand continuous attention. Other factors are related to huge electoral expenditure. It is already we have written. Just we wanted to give emphasis on these two factors. Yes. Change paragraph. Mode of simultaneous holding of election. Mode of simultaneous holding of elections. Simultaneous holding of elections. First, 2 cycles of elections. 2 cycles of election. One with Lok Sabha. One with Lok Sabha. Second, after 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Next, those assemblies which may experience fall of government. There can be first president's rule, or second, fresh election only for the tenure which may synchronize with 2 cycles of elections. 2 cycles of elections. Next, in case of no confidence motion, it is suggested that there should be constructive vote practice. Constructive vote practice. That no confidence motion cannot be brought. Unless opposition is ready for constructive vote. Unless opposition is ready for confidence vote. note, NOT note. The implementation demand, demands amendments in the Constitution, several provisions, including Article 83, 85, and similar provisions related to state assemblies, which will demand amendment through third method, with ratification by half of the states. Next, resistance and criticisms. First, it will promote unitary nature of polity over federal polity. Because of following factors. Within that, first, national parties, especially ruling party, will get more preference over state and regional parties. In bracket, according to studies, it has been found that when Lok Sabha and Assembly elections are conducted together, 77% electorates give support to national party oblique ruling party. Second, the amendments in the Constitution shift the balance from federal polity to unitary polity, as center will have more say in the affairs of the state, including imposition of President's rule. Hence, state and regional parties have been strongly opposing simultaneous holding of election. They have been opposing simultaneous holding of elections. Next separate point. without containing defection politics and coalition politics, it would be difficult to synchronize. Difficult to synchronize. Next. According to S.Y. Qureshi, frequent elections bring following benefits. Frequent elections bring following benefits. First, it improves accountability of political class. Next, it creates jobs. At local level due to electoral activities. Next, rejection to criticisms. A subheading: rejection to criticisms. Niti Aayog in its report has rejected such criticisms. Niti Aayog in its report has rejected such criticisms. Criticism that first it is not in all cases that people support ruling and national party like NCT Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, etc. Next, S.Y. Qureshi points are temporary and ad hoc, simply because first, for accountability, checks and balances in democracy should be strengthened. For accountability, checks and balances in democracy should be strengthened rather than going for frequent elections. Next, jobs should be permanently created, not on ad hoc basis. Jobs should be permanently created, not on ad hoc basis. Next, there are countries which have 2 cycles of elections. US, South Africa, Sweden. Next, the benefits of simultaneous holding of election are much more higher than the problems it is going to pose. Therefore, the idea should be promoted, and there should be more political discourse promoted, and there should be more political discourse, consensus building. At the same time, quality of politics should be improved. Before introducing this reform, there were synchronized elections for first three Lok Sabha between 1951-52 to 1967, which shows that it is feasible provided defection politics, coalition politics, criminalization of politics, end or contend for better democratic polity. That's all. दोनों चीज नहीं हो सकता है. एक तरफ आप सरकार गिराते रहो, दूसरी तरफ आप बोलो कि नहीं. मतलब एक तरफ आप ड्रिंक करते रहो, दूसरे बोलो कि नहीं मैं हेल्दी हूँ. सॉरी टू से दैट. तो दोनों नहीं हो सकता है ना. सो सेंटर इज सेइंग कि ये होना चाहिए, ठीक है होना चाहिए, और सेंटर ने फर्स्ट टाइम नहीं बोला है, बट आप शो भी तो करो ना पॉलिटिकल स्टैंडर्ड. इसलिए कि जब तक डिफेक्शन पॉलिटिक्स, कोलिशन पॉलिटिक्स एंड नहीं होगा, सिंक्रोनाइज नहीं होगा, स्टेट्स आर नॉट रेडी टू बी गवर्न्ड बाय प्रेसिडेंट्स रूल. और 5 साल से कम टेन्योर करना क्या है, ये बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर के अगेंस्ट है. अभी तो जुडिशियल स्क्रूटनी बाकी है. तो कहीं भी ये होता नहीं है ऐसा कि आप 1 साल का टेन्योर रखो असेंबली का, ऐसा होता है. So this is how we finish it. We'll take tomorrow criminalization of politics. Finally, we'll try to finish tomorrow elections in this blah 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 things, right? Wes will tell you also proportional representation, internal party democracy also. Tomorrow we'll have class from 10 o'clock. One day we'll have class from 10 o'clock. 10 to West this, what 12:30 normal. Right? Yes. नहीं, बट उससे रिलीफ होगा ना. कम स्टेट में होगा, एक ही साथ होगा. तो एक ही साथ होगा ना, तो मशीनरी बार बार नहीं उसमें वो होती है, एब्जॉर्ब नहीं होती है. तो एक ही साथ होगा तो उस तरीके से मशीनरी एक बार इन्वॉल्व होगी, 2 बार होगी. ये नहीं कि पूरे सालों वो लेट्स से कि वो इन्वॉल्व है इलेक्शन में, बिकॉज वी यूज ह्यूज फोर्स इन इलेक्शन टाइम. तो वो अननेसेसरी एक्सपेंडिचर है. प्लस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड माई लॉजिक. मैंने तो टाइम वगैरह नहीं है इसलिए कुछ बहुत सारी चीजें बताया नहीं, इस तरह का हंसने वाली चीजें. एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इलेक्शन के टाइम पे काम करना बंद कर देती है. यू शुड नो दिस. कुछ भी बोलोगे इलेक्शन के बाद देखेंगे. सरकास्टिकली यहां तक है कि अगर कोई एफआईआर फाइल करने में जा रहा है पुलिस स्टेशन में और मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लगा है, तो बोलेगा कि एफआईआर अभी नहीं फाइल होगा. क्यों भाई? मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लगा, कोई रिलेशन नहीं. राइट, एक्सक्यूज. इसलिए कि लोगों को पता नहीं है, लोगों को पता नहीं है। सो FIR विल नॉट बी फाइल्ड बाय पुलिस बाय सेइंग कि मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट है, आचार संहिता लागू है, पता नहीं है। Yes, take sarcastically this, like when model code of conduct is in operation, RBI was supposed to review monetary policy, तो RBI ने ऐसे ही पूछ लिया थोड़ा सा अच्छा व्यवहार एटिकेट दिखाते हुए कि पूछ लेते हैं इलेक्शन कमीशन कि क्या परमिशन की जरूरत है आपकी, तो दे सेंड ए प्रपोजल, डू वी नीड टू टेक योर परमिशन, बोलता है इलेक्शन का, यस यू नीड टू टेक परमिशन। So means will you review monetary policy also? So this is how, let's say, that election commission, let's say, that expands its power like anything. This, and you love to get power, you know that. So even monetary policy type of thing you are trying to review, entire administrative appointments you are trying to review, transfer and postings happen. These are all, let's say, that very challenging. Right? That's why, let's say, we should favor it.
So one more thing can be added that before introducing institutional capacity of election commission should be improved.
वो तो रेडी हुआ है उन्होंने, बट बिना कैपेसिटी के तो होगा ही नहीं। तब तक वही चल रहा है, आधार, सीडिंग ऑफ आधार विद वोटर ID, ये सारी चीजें चल रहा है।